Yeah, Kirby, I guess I wanted to ask you about some injuries. Arian Smith and Kendall Milton, and a couple guys we didn't notice today, and Tate Ratledge and Ernest Green.
Yeah, Aaron is probably the toughest one. The poor kid can't catch a break, man. He's had a injury, like right when he first got here, jumping in a long jump pit, and he had another injury his sophomore year, and he's worked so hard to get back, and he gave up track this year, and he's an elite track runner, and he gave that up so that he could have a successful season. He had a tough, ankle sprain and high ankle sprain. Don't know how long it's going to take. It is going to require surgery, but it's not broken, and we're hopeful to get him back. And he's overcome so much, and he's such a great kid. He got great family, such a positive kid, and he keeps getting tough breaks. I know that he's going to persevere that, and I think he'll bounce back when it comes to that. Tate is dinged up, he's got a turf toe. It's not anything to do with his Liz Frank. Should get him back. Ernest has got a hamstring that's bothering him. It's been bothering him really for a couple weeks now. He's had it since summer workouts. It's kind of been nagging him, and he's been able to go some and off and on, so we held him today. And Kendall Milton's got a little bit of a grade 1 hamstring, but it's nothing severe.
Kirby, talking about the inside linebackers, just what did you see today? And again, you talked about the progress you want to see from the whole defense. In what areas with the inside linebackers you want to see the most growth of what's left of camp?
Well, I thought Tresman made a couple good plays. He's got to continue to stay healthy. He's been fighting a soft tissue calf strain, so he's been in and out, but he made a couple good plays today. Pop's probably been the most consistent guy in that group, and we're looking for some mental and physical toughness out of that group. There's some talented young players, sorry flashes, but he's got to do it more consistently, and he knows that. He has some ability to make some really big flash plays, but he's got to do it more consistently within the defense, and then Smile's got to play better too. That's a group. That group's got to step up and play better, and the defensive line's got to help them play better by keeping blockers off of them.
Kirby, you mentioned 9 practices, and I'm wondering about some of the guys that are young at wide receiver. Any of them flashing so far that have made some strides?
Dylan made some plays today. Dylan Bell made some plays today. Jackson Meeks made some plays today. If you're counting him as young, because nowadays sophomore's not young. Sophomore's old. 40% of our team, 35% of our team is freshmen. So, I thought Dylan Bell stepped up and made some plays. Flashes Oscar made some plays at tight end, counting him as a receiving weapon. So those guys continue to do a good job, but we just don't have the depth at receiver. I thought Rosemead did a good job today. AD made a few plays, but we're going to have to be really good on the perimeter to be explosive. We've got good tight ends, but we've got to be good outside to complement the tight ends. And we need to get Denylin back, and we need to get Dylan Bell rolling to get where we need to get it wide out.
I think you mentioned a moment ago not seeing a lot of pass rush today. Last year you had this massive sack total. Internally, is there a program goal for how many sacks is enough to be as impactful with the pass rush as you want to be?
Again, there's not internally a goal. We don't put a sack goal. We put an effective quarterback goal. And we all know that's not fun for you guys because you want to talk sack totals. We want to talk batted balls, interceptions, knockdown, hurries. You affect the quarterback with multiple rushes. And, Robert Beal is having a quietly good camp, which is good for us. A lot of times these scrimmages get skewed. Last year was a outlier because of the front and the people we had. But these scrimmages get skewed because you take so many snaps. Pass rushing is an effort play, and a lot of sacks are what we call hustle sacks, effort sacks. You don't necessarily win, you give a great second effort. Well, there comes a point in the scrimmage today where they take so many snaps, nobody's fresh, and the offensive lineman stays in front of them. It reminded me of our old scrimmages where we didn't have great pass rush, not because we don't have pass rushers, we just didn't have the juice that we needed. And I can't say that it was like that last year, but it's been like that in years past.
Yeah, Kirby, 2 questions. I guess 1, another injury. What's Denylin dealing with? And 2, you mentioned Dylan Bell. I know he played quarterback some in high school. Just what has his development been like? What have you guys seen from him? And are you maybe not surprised, but impressed that he's starting to work his way into the rotation this early?
No, he's working his way in the rotation by necessity. We don't have enough depth at the position there. And Denylin's just got he hyperextended his knee before we even started camp. So he's got an injury that's lagging over from camp, but he's not. He's back running. He should be back here shortly, and Hopefully we can get him back healthy and get him in there competing. But it's just every year. I don't think across the country you see 4 senior wideouts. Show me where you got 4 senior wideouts. Show me where you got 2 seniors and 2 juniors. Because wideouts are very similar. If they don't get the ball, they're gone. So you constantly have young players. And if they're really good, they're going to the draft. So that's where one of our juniors is. So everything is kind of cyclical, and right now at wideout we don't have great depth, and we have a couple injuries. So those young guys are getting thrust out there, and they got to grow up. We've done it before. I mean, we've had productive freshman wide receivers.